back in the game with
That's right.
Double J Jeff Johnson, the DMV correspondent.
That is correct.
So here's the thing. I was gonna just jump into my story, but it looks like both of us. First of all, for anybody that doesn't know the phrase "charge it to the game," does anybody know that phrase? Hold on a second. It's called when we say "charge it to the game." Do you know that phrase?
I know. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I don't know that one.
Okay. When we say charge it to the game, when we say charge it to the game, what is the game? The game is the game of life. Charge it to the game means don't complain about it. You just have to keep moving and say, that's the cost of doing business. That's the price of the success I've had. Every now and then you get reminded it's not always wins. It's not always gonna be a come up. Sometimes you're gonna get hit, and you just have to charge to the game. So, because what I want to do today, it's not complaining. It's just a clear understanding of what happened. It surprised me and reminded me to keep my head in the game. It reminded me of what can really happen. But I'm gonna let you go on with your story. Hey, what's up, DJ Moss? I want to go on and let you give us your story first.
All right. So I'm your DMV DC correspondent. It's like when the first presentation we gave, everything that was going to go, south and go good pretty much went the way it was. You predicted pretty much the government was not going to protect us. They was basically going to screw everything up. Again, there's a lot of price gouging. I bought 10 masks for $20 in a wine and spirit store. So I had a choice. I was like, nah, I don't want to do this. But I'm like, I might not see these masks again. And I also got to get some for my daughters also, because we're doing social distancing also. So a lot of things have changed. Less cars on the road, curbside pickout, a lot of teleworking, saving a lot of money. Definitely with expenses, I think I'm probably saving like $300 or $400 a month. Just not, driving that Audi 45 miles, one-way trip, or, eating out, or just, instead of making ham sandwiches now, spam sandwiches, prepping. And this, saving money. That money I reinvested into my daughters as far as homeschooling and tutors, just because you do have to have an adult in the room, not necessarily a parent, hint. So I kind of reinvested those resources, to keep my daughters, just keep them focused so they won't fall behind, because this is the new world we live in. Stop looking at the conspiracy theories, the politicians. This is the new world. Actually, it was an article in FWC about basically doing like permanent telework for government workers. And I think as soon as that article came out, President Trump said, no, you guys need to go back to the offices. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. My staff, they work in a secure location. Every day they have deep cleaning, and they will have to get up out their seats and they wipe down keyboards, they're vacuuming and doing everything else. I could say that's probably like about 3 weeks short, but
wow,
we're moving forward. And I know there's some challenges in Sao Paulo, and you can tell me your story.
So wait, hold on. You said those masks. What happened?
They're expensive. Price gouging. Price gouging. Right? Price gouging. In fact, I got them right here. Yeah. $20. $20 for 10 masks. I think these things cost like 7 cents to make. Somebody's making some coins. Somebody's making some paper.
Well, we're gonna have to have a different conversation on, what is price gouging, who price gouges, and how do we set market prices? Because I do agree that it's price gouging, but I only agree that it's price gouging largely because there's not a monopoly on it and it's a medical issue. I don't think you should be able to, I think there should definitely be a cap on things that are medical issues. Having said that, here, I've got friends who are seamstresses, so people in Sao Paulo, I contacted a few people and let them know, hey, I've got to connect. And I got a friend who is a seamstress, and who basically, she just stopped making dresses and just went crazy making masks. And she's just, I think they're like $5 each, which is something like $2 American each.
Okay.
And she's shipping out boxes of them. Just.
Well, we said basically there's going to be some opportunities from this global crisis that people can take advantage of. Teleworking, and you can create your own economy. You just have to put your mind to it and have the right resources for it. And I was just telling people, if you get that stimulus check, if you don't need it, don't spend it. Don't.
Well, here's the thing. It's not like a bonus. The money is just going to straight up come out of your taxes next year. I mean, they've said, this is not a gift.
True that.
In Brazil, they've given out stimuluses, which are actually a true on top. Anybody? Well, here's the thing. If you qualify here, if you're also on any government assistance, they give that to you on top of it. Is it as much as some people would like? No, the government went back and forth with the president about the amount. Some people say 8 or 9. Some people said 2. They agreed on 6. But it's better than a sharp stick in the eye.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So what qualifies that? Is it like income, or is this one all for one for all?
No, it's definitely income. Definitely income.
Okay.
Yeah.
So pretty much once you hit 100K here, you're not getting anything.
But there's a gap. There are other ways around that, but that's another conversation.
Yeah.
Let me do this for the people in the chat. DJ Moss, DJ Amar, got a lot of DJs. Sid, I tagged you on Facebook, so please be sure to share this on your feed for us. Get some more people in, and I'll go ahead and say a couple of things about the story I'm going to share. My story is probably in no way unique. As I said, I charged to the game. It's a lesson for me. What did you say? Always keeps you on your toes. That's true. I read this story once about how in the old days, back when pimps were walking the street with girls, which is a despicable practice, they said, let's say one pimp saw another pimp and with a girl, and he wanted that girl for himself. Maybe he can con and talk that girl into coming in with him, and then the next day he'd walk up to that guy and say, listen, the reason this girl isn't around you anymore is because she's coming to be with me. I'm just telling you, so it's no miscommunication. I didn't put a bag over her head. She says she wants to get on my team. And you would have to just charge it to the game, take it like a man, and say she's got to choose. See, here's the difference between what happened then and what's happening right now. That guy never pretended to be his friend. They weren't colleagues. They didn't have a relationship that was being betrayed. There is somebody who I subcontract work to, who I have subcontracted work to and done other business things to for more than 2 years with no problems. There's never been a problem with money. There's never been a problem with billing on time. There's never been a problem with me being nothing, no problems. I got a message, not a phone call, but a message that said, listen, earlier today, I contacted everybody that was on my client or potential client list with some business things that I'm doing. And I got a reply from one of the clients that I actually was working on as a contractor for you. So my first thought is, how did one of the clients that you're taking that I gave you to deal with, as a percentage, how did that get on your client list in the first place? How did that accidentally get on your list of clients to contact if you're a subcontractor for me?
Eliminate the competition.
That's the first thing. That's the first thing that rang a bell. But then it was like, well, listen, I heard back from them and they're interested in doing this product service with me. And, I don't want you to think that I stole them from you, but, I'll make it up for you later. And I'm thinking, whoa. Isn't that exactly what just happened? Didn't you just contact someone that you met through me who I subcontracted you, and then you contracted them, undercut me, right? Now, here's the thing. If I got undercut from some guy down the street that I don't know, I would shake his hands and still invite him out to tea. I would say, hey, listen, maybe we can help each other with business. Why? We're not friends, right? We're businessmen who are fighting for the same clients. I can appreciate that. But when you're someone who falls under, well, he used to fall under the list of people I would call a friend, somebody that I have sent business to when things were bad for him, somebody that I trusted to do business with and trusted with money. And I just got and the way he phrased it was like, it's not a big deal. Don't get upset. Because remember, it's not about the money. It's never about the money.
That is right. That's right. So we call that poaching. In the government IT world, that phrase is used very often about poaching, trying to basically steal other people's clients. And I mean steal, not even like mutual, hey, can I get a piece of it? Can I get some piece of it? It's literally poaching, going behind someone's back, particularly someone you know, and they'll try to take your people, your talent. It's a very unsavory business practice, but in that situation, I don't have no problem lifting my sword. And there are some ethics and there are some things that are there to protect you. You just have to know what you're getting into, and you need to know also, hey, if this person tries to take my people and have them go to his company, what can I do? You have to have a good HR team, a good legal team, and also you gotta lift your sword because that's not cool. Not cool at all.
Hey, and it's painful because what he doesn't know is because, I have a full-on company and I've got some things that are a little higher up the food order than him. He has no idea how many people have asked me about him on the side who have said, hey, this guy is in your industry. Do you know him and can you speak for him? Because I have a deep and well-established business. My name is Good Money everywhere. So people come to you when they say, hey, well, first of all, do you do this? No, you don't. Okay, well, there's another guy who does this. Do you know him? Because you know how they say it's lonely at the top? I don't claim to be the single greatest at what I do, but you do find when you're good at something professionally, there aren't many people who are, no matter how big the city is. There aren't very many people who are professional enough to be on the tip of everybody's lip when they say, I need something done. Who do I call? And when you get there, you got to protect it for everything. So, hey, I'm not going to say any mean words to him. Okay, I'm not going to say a single mean word about him. As a matter of fact, the next time his name comes up and they say, hey, blah, 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 I'm going to say, I can't professionally endorse him. What do you mean? What happened? I can't discuss it. I can't professionally endorse him. Right. Well, are you saying that I can't trust him? What I'm saying is that I cannot professionally endorse him. And I'm just going to look at him and give him the... Now they got to go back and ask him. Well, we asked somebody else in the industry about you. We asked this guy, YusefWateef, and he said he can't endorse you. Is that because I hope he's not foolish enough to use my name?
I got a side note for that when you finish.
I hope he's not. And for the record, the clients that he took, I'm not angry at them at all.
Okay.
Here's what happens with clients, right? If you were shopping for price, I didn't want you anyway.
Quality.
If you're shopping price, I'm totally okay with you saying, you know what? Maybe dealing with Wateef isn't what I need. But eventually you find out you get what you pay for. Because here's the thing, they know that I am the person who extended that client list to him. Because they came to me and I said, okay, I'm going to put this guy on that job. So it's not like they don't know who I am. So when he approached them with, hey, I can do it the other side. Because clients do it to people. Listen, I didn't get where I am overnight. I had people who put me under their wing early. And to this day, there is nobody that can ever say I poached a single client. I won't do it. No matter how much the money bag looks like, no matter how sweet the other deal is. If I said I'm working for you and I do this, now normally what I do is I have to work out something about referrals. Because if I earn a referral, how are we going to do that? That's a different issue. Now that I'll argue over. I won't take the client, but if I get a referral, You know, that's what we got to talk about that. But there's never any bullshit involved. There's never really, I'm gonna call you and leave a message and say, hey, yeah, I took that. Don't be mad. But really, I'm not mad. Matter of fact, I wish you the best of health, because his excuse was, you know, it's cold outside right now. Money is drying up. The wolves are at my door. I didn't have. He actually said the words, I didn't really have a choice. Oh, a man always has a choice.
You can't burn bridges like that. And I just want to chime in a little bit about references. Me being a hiring manager, I would say I probably interview like close to 200 people a year. And, you know, there's always a thing where you have to dismiss someone or fire someone. I don't have no problem with that. Again, I don't have no problem with lifting up my sword in an ethical manner. Character reference and a personal reference, those are two different things. That character reference has a lot of weight. And I'd say professional reference, I can say this person is smart, they know this, they got their certs, they got their college. But when we start getting into that character, we're talking about work ethic, we're talking about behavior. Those are like two different swim lanes. And I think a lot of anybody that's on here that's in any type of position, whatever type of business you have to always look if someone walks out your door, what kind of reference are you going to give them? Are you going to give them just a professional reference? You know, just, hey, they came to work, blah, 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 or their character. Because that character, work habits, it carries a lot of weight. That's all I'm going to speak on that.
Because here's the thing. I'll be here next season. I'll be here. Will you? Will this behavior tell me, I wonder what the long haul is like for him? Because the other thing it teaches you is that, so you're telling me when things get ugly, I can count on you to knife me. You just told everybody, hey, Amika. Amika is a sister in Kettlebell. We were just talking about how glad we were that we got our kettlebells before they all sold out. Because for those of you who don't know, because I get a lot of messages, they're like, oh, what? You know, I'm stuck in the house. All I got is my backyard, or all I got is, you know, I can go to the corner. I'm trying to keep my gains, or I'm trying to get in shape. What am I going to do? And I say, listen, remember how we kept talking about kettlebells are a good supplementary exercise, about how you might want to get it, you know, just in case something goes wrong, or just do it on the weekends. Because I always refer to my kettlebells, I always refer to it as my side chick. You know, my main girl, that's my heavy weightlifting. But on Saturdays and Sundays, I don't mind going out to the park to do some serious kettlebelling. As a matter of fact, I did a Patreon about kettlebells. I'll show you guys, and I'll post it in the chat. Let's see. For everybody who wants to see that. But yeah, it's one of those situations where I'm so glad I have it. I'm so glad that I have something that gives me, you know, you got to keep your body, you got to keep your body active in order to keep your mind from atrophying.
True.
Boom. So yeah, that character reference, like you said, that character reference, that's everything. That's everything. What people say about, let me take that back. When you are respected by men who are respected, it matters. When someone whose name carries weight says something about you, it matters, good or bad. Because the worst thing you can do is not to say something bad about somebody that makes you look like a jerk. It's when you say, can't endorse him. Well, why? For the sake of professionalism and confidentiality, I can only say that I can't put my professional weight behind that. But please feel free to do business with me.
Right. You know, the worst thing you can happen is I'm just going to use this. John Smith is a good worker or a good professional, but you never want to have that but behind your name. You just want basically your name to come out there, and basically it's going to raise eyebrows and it's going to ring some bells. But you never want to be a but. You never want to say, John Smith, you know, he was a hard worker, but. Because you just gave, because after the good, there's always the bad and the ugly. I'm telling you, you professionals out here, you have to take a look at that. You don't want to be a butt. You want to be on top of your game. Has nothing to do with, it has nothing to do with color or race, but you gotta finish the race. You gotta get across the finish line. You do not want your character to be a burden to hold you back and take it to the next level. Because when you hit that ceiling, it hurts. It does. Yeah. I haven't experienced that, but I've seen some people fall on their sword, never got back up because there was a butt.
Who said nothing before the butt matters? Who said that first?
You're going to get the good part first, but then
someone said that. Who quoted that? Nothing before the word "but" matters.
I looked that one up.
I looked that one up too. But yeah, man, and I ask myself, because I look at the size of the contract that I had with them, and you're undercutting me. I'm like, how much of a profit are you even going to make? Because here's the thing. I know things about the contract that he doesn't, that he just quote unquote got. I know the true cost of, again, when people, and this is for anybody who has somebody over them, that they may be in a situation wondering, well, why is it that if this person over me contracts with me, they get this larger percentage and I get a smaller percentage? I'll tell you why it happens. One, it's my name you're writing on. If I'm the person that can look at it and say, well, I know he's a good professional, and if YusefWateef says that Jeff is a good professional, I can trust Jeff as I would YusefWateef. But two, I did the research to earn that client. I'm the person that had to find out what their career goals needed in their company. I'm the person that's going to find out what the last person who did my job for their company, was it an in-house employee, was it the last person that you hired as a contractor to do this, why aren't you working with him now? What did he do to get kicked out the door so that I cannot make that mistake? And I've heard some stories that made sense, and I've heard some that didn't. But I respect them. They might have just said something like, yeah, we like working with him, but he insisted on using 12-point font, and because some of the people on my staff are older, we need everything done in 14-point font. That's a story I've heard. When the client tells you what you need to do to keep them as a client, listen. But here's the trick. He doesn't know those things. He doesn't know the idiosyncrasies of that client. He doesn't know how many losses I might take when they say, we need something next month, but not this month. But because I have a good relationship with them, I don't throw them off my books. He doesn't know those things. He's never. And for the people here watching who don't know, Jeff, you know where I'm going with this. My main thing is I'm an editor, writer, copywriter. If you have books, magazines that need to be done in university English. My biggest thing right now, I have been writing resumes for people like there is no tomorrow, for people with different job prospects. I tell everybody to catch me on LinkedIn. YusefWateef is my name. And when you go to LinkedIn, I tell everybody the same thing. Scroll all the way down and go to the part that says, come on. Wow, my internet is slow right now, but I think everybody's internet is slow.
Yes, it is. Everyone is at home.
Yeah, the internet has never had this happen before.
Yeah, I actually had to increase my bandwidth. I had to actually increase my bandwidth because, between my government computer and all the other devices that I have here, and then the girls, they got the little Amazon and tablets and everything. I had to kind of like boost things up a little bit, but I got through it.
Hey, and what do I tell people right here? This is the money. Where it says recommendations under my LinkedIn profile, this is where other business professionals around the world say, he's worth it. He's who he claims to be. Look at this guy. Work with this guy. These are all business professionals that are more than happy to speak up for me, and that's where I want everybody to go. But yeah, it hurts in a way that what happened to me, the money I lost doesn't hurt as much as it makes me question my own character judgment, because again, he didn't just jump in. This is somebody that I have been doing business with, and it's like, did I make a mistake? If there's something that was there that I did not see, that he managed to hide for 2 years and pick now to try to skewer me.
Yeah, there's a word I want to use to that. My teenage daughter might be writing, watching this later. That's not good. Burning bridges and unsavory business practices. You can partner with people. You don't have to. You get into the situation where you're undercutting somebody, giving them lower quality work, Most likely, they usually always come back home. It always happens. I've seen contracts where you have some rinky-dink Mickey Mouse company that underbids on the contract. The government falls for it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm just going through scenarios in my mind.
Okay, sorry. And they eventually, when the option year is up, they come back to the customer and pay the money for the quality. And as you were saying about that individual, about characters, when I rate employees, I look at how much they cost and how much value they have and how much risk. If the risk is medium and they have high costs, I don't need it.
If the risk is medium and they have high costs.
Yeah, because if I'm paying you a certain salary, I need you to produce. I don't need no whining. I do listen to people. I'm a leader. I know how to manage personalities by me being in the military for 14 years. I've seen it all. But if I'm paying you that money, I'm paying you that scratch. I'm looking for results. I'm not looking for what had happened was, because we're going to have a problem.
What had happened was, don't you love that?
We're going to have a chat.
Don't you love that phrase when somebody walks up to you and says, what had happened was, and you're like,
and see, what people fail to realize, when you're doing performance on a contract, if you're doing good, that's going to get you future work. You know, it's going to get you good work. It's going to get you new business. And new business is always better than an old business, because now you're basically planting seeds. You're manifesting something, and you're going to grow. But that product has to be superior. You know, I always study the competition, and I want to eliminate the competition in an ethical manner.
Yes,
that's the key.
By being better.
Exactly.
So Brother Craig has a question. He said, what's the protocol for when a colleague takes a client? Does it warrant a phone call? Well, I would say there are two different situations. One, let's take the time that I was a financial professional and I worked under an umbrella. I was Series 6, Series 63, and I worked under a federal umbrella. And in companies, they have very clear laws about that, especially something as lucrative and important as financial professionals. I saw one time that there was a guy who was new, still in his first year. He went out and he approached a client. The client didn't bite. The client didn't need his services, but he said, you know what? I'm going to come back in a couple of months, take you out for coffee, and see if anything has changed. The guy said, fair enough. Maybe things change. So he goes back to the office and he files it. This guy, this company, this day, this is what I did. You guys can, look it up later. And you always have to, especially in your first year, you've got to document everything to show that you're doing the process correctly.
That is correct. That is correct.
Not a year later, not even a year later, an older guy who had been in the business for quite a while was referred into this person. Now, the story could have gone one or two ways. It could have been, the guy didn't tell me that somebody else had approached him, or I knew when I didn't care. Either way, he didn't take the time to put that guy's name into the computer and say, does this guy have a history with us? Because clients could look at you and say, I don't know if it matters. They really don't know.
Past performance is important. Past performance is very important.
I watched this guy, essentially professionally. They took him outside, tied him to a tree, and beat him. He lost all the money from that contract. He was put on notice, because the one thing you can never have is a workplace where somebody is afraid of a colleague stealing from them. They said, we don't care. This dude is only in his first year. They brought down the hammer of justice on this man. Mm-hmm. Now, on the other side, Craig, when it's somebody who works under you, and I'm not a giant company. People know I'm a registered small business. It didn't warrant anything to call the client over. If the client decided to stay with that guy, I'm not going to fight him over it. But what it did warrant is a call to him. And what I said is, for you to send me a message telling me what you did after the fact, not telling me maybe you need more hours, maybe you need more clients because times are rough. Can I send you some more contracts? But when you did that, and then you used the phrase, I really didn't have a choice when they recontacted me, I said, first of all, every man has a choice.
That is true.
Second, you didn't accidentally put them in your list of people to contact from your approach list. Because he's got his own, internet email list of people that are potential clients that he contacts. I said, you didn't accidentally put their name on your list. They didn't just fall out of the list of people that I gave you and onto your list. And I said, I want to be clear. You made a decision. Don't pretend that's not what you did. I have nothing that I'm ever going to say publicly bad about you. I just want you to know, don't ever contact me again. And then the gate came down. I blocked him on all social media. And that was it. And here's the thing. What do we say? Charge it to the game. The amount of money will never matter. I'll be fine. I will bounce back. I know what I'm capable of. Him, on the other hand, for me to have chosen somebody to come under my company, to work under my company that I picked, that could then turn around and do this. But at the same time, you know, this is what shows a man's character. It is cold outside.
It is.
Everybody's hurting a little bit. Even people that's got a lot of gold stored up for later. Nobody likes to see everybody hungry, because what do you do now?
That's true.
Nobody wants to live off their investments. Nobody wants to dig into the crates. But what do you do when you have to choose between ethical behavior and unethical behavior? It's easy to say, listen, it's easy to say what you would and wouldn't do when you haven't missed a meal in years. What do people do when it's cold and hungry outside and I got these bills to feed? He asked the question, he found out, and I also wonder who else he's done it to. If he did it to me, if he takes subcontracting from anybody else, I wonder if this is the lesson he learned, or I wonder if he's done it to somebody else, or if this like I'll get through this and I'll just apologize to them next time.
Nah, sharks in the water. Sharks in the water, my brother.
What? How did he think it was going to happen? Because it's not like he doesn't know who I am. Like, at what point did he get into his head that Wateef is just going to roll over for this one? Wateef is he's just going to have to, you know, it'll be okay. He's not going to actually throw me off the team. I'm still going to be in the circle. Because he was thinking like it was not going to be a big deal. When did that occur to him?
Excommunicate. I'm saying when you step out there like that and you steal someone's business, you know, it's gonna come out. What's in darkness is gonna come out in the light. You know, I'm not gonna get into my spiritual beliefs. That would be appropriate, but that's just dirty. Especially when it comes to business. And I don't have no type of emotional tie to business, but I know if someone's trying to screw me over or not, you know, we're gonna have a problem. I'm pulling out the sword because I'm gonna fight for what's mine. But for someone to be a colleague, someone to be in your circle, like I said, to be a wolf like that, that's dirty. That's not good. Not good at all.
Yeah.
And we're only in round 2 of this. Like I said, round 3 or 4 is pretty much going to separate the men from the boys. The people that got the real money, that's saving their money, they're going to be good. The people that got the show money, guess what? The $1,200 stimulus check ain't gonna do nothing for you, bro. Tell people, save your money, invest. You don't need anything right now. You don't need anything. Take this opportunity to grow your money, period.
Yep.
You're gonna have some hard choices. You know, you need to feed your family first. That credit card bill can wait or whatever, so be it. You know, everything's gonna be on a reboot as far as FICO scores. You know, it's gonna happen. Right, you know, but like I said, we're only in round 2. Like I said, I'm a money man, and had to learn some hard lessons. Right now, you don't need no hard lessons. Right now, you need abundance.
Yeah. I don't even know. How do you help people now, though?
I'm doing a couple things.
If you can.
I'm doing some outreach, outreach we're doing in Brazil, you know, with the food donations. I got a couple things going on in Salvador. We're just going to do some stuff for the homeless. I do what I can. I'm not going to sit on the sidelines, particularly if our people of color are suffering. I do what I can, but I'm not a fool. I want my money to go straight to boots on the ground and have a result. And that's why I like to do outreach. People that's on boots on the ground, when I know my money is going to go somewhere and it's going to help somebody. You know, there's angels here on earth. And that's how I look at it. And I do help relatives. I do help my family. You know, I help them. But I tell them, have you learned the lesson? If you haven't learned the lesson, this blessing, this money I'm gonna give to you ain't gonna matter because you didn't learn the lesson. Learn the lesson. You know?
You said something a little while ago that struck a chord. I don't know if you saw it. I did this. Let's see. Hold on a second. Share screen. Credit Killer Quarantine with RJ Rochelle. He's a CPP, MSA, credit professional. Because you talked about credit. We had a real good discussion here on Patreon. He talked about how people cannot get into bad credit situations, what he does to repair credit. It was a very technical discussion. I'll put a link in the comments on the side, and I hope everybody gets a chance to look at it.
Yeah, that's some good info.
We had a good one. Well, I think I got this out of my system. I don't think he needs. I don't think that he needs any more words from me. I don't think that there's going to be anything more that I can say. I don't want to give any more life to the situation. I just hope that my experience can give somebody else the courage to say, hey, this is never going to be okay.
Yeah, it's always sharks in the water, my brother.
And that never earn that butt.
Yeah, exactly.
Never be in a situation where people look at you and say, oh, he's a good person, but.
That is correct.
He's a good guy, but don't be that guy that when they ask, oh, what do you think about him? You say, I can't really put my professional name on that.
That's very important. Your name is important. Like I said, when you're doing job references and stuff for people and, you know, they have background problems and, you know, you basically vouch for them and they screw you over, people look at that and they're like, wow, you sent this person to me and this dude doesn't have a security clearance. You know, it's not to a point where he was an axe murderer or something like that, but it's still, you don't want anything tarnishing your name. You know, technically, if you're an entrepreneur or you're in middle management and you have those power to make those moves, you got to really protect your reputation. And if you have to say, hey, look, man, I'll give you a personal reference, but not a professional one, I'm kind of like sending you a signal saying, I'm going to vouch for you, but I'm not going to really vouch for you because I know what your potential is. I know what you lack. I know as far as what your weaknesses are. I have to protect my name. I'm not going to move the problem somewhere else. And then some guy is calling me up. He said, hey, man, remember that donkey you sent me, man? He didn't last 6 months, you know? So you just got to be careful. Like I said, I'm about helping people. You know, I've helped a lot of people in the IT industry. I help people get certifications, you know, point them in the right direction. If you look at my Facebook, there's no silly stuff on there. I'm all about economic growth and professional development because those things will basically take you far. All that other stuff means nothing to me. If I'm growing, you can't grow. You will not live. You will not survive in this world. That's just what it is. Plain and simple, real talk.
All right. Well, listen, I think BK from the Rockies said it best. He said, everybody make sure, and I forgot to say this earlier, be sure to like, share, subscribe. The subscribe thing, we've grown by leaps and bounds, and I'm glad to be able to say that. Make sure you share this somewhere. I tell people all the time, share it on your Facebook or on your Twitter. Even put a link to this on your Tinder profile. Because say, hey, listen, if we both swiped on each other, we got something in common. What are we going to talk about after the deed is done? I know we can watch one of YusefWateef's videos and have a great conversation afterwards.
That is correct.
Hey, listen, thanks to everybody. And Jeff, I appreciate you taking time out of
your day.
No problem. After I click end broadcast, we got some other things to catch up on for the people who are going to be left out. We're cooking some stuff up.
That is correct.